So the first question we're going to ask is, why do we need to investigate this topic? The topic is known as life is change. So this is fairly obvious. We know that life constitutes change. Why do we need to investigate this? If this is something that is common knowledge, of course life constantly changes. Why do we need to investigate this as a philosophical topic?
You need to know how to adapt to it.
Exactly. The problem is not change per se, the fact that the world is constantly changing. The problem is our reaction to change. And in fact, anytime we claim to have a problem, the tendency for us is to point at the external world and say that that is the problem. But when you boil it down, the only problem that we've ever had is that I didn't like it, if you want to put it that way. You know, if someone comes to you and says, this is the problem, this is happening with my work or my relationship or my kids or my body or whatever else happens to be, you just keep saying to that person, and so what? So what? And you'll keep getting a string of responses, but ultimately what it gets to is, it upsets me, it agitates me, I don't like it. And so this is what we need to understand, that we are affected by change. This is why we need to investigate this topic. One of the most fundamental principles that this philosophy is based on is that circumstances by themselves cannot cause us to suffer. No suffering that we've experienced has ever been caused by the environment around us. The reason that we have experienced agitation or frustration or anxiety is because we lack insight. Okay, and we're going to explain what that means a bit more as we go through. And this is why we have philosophy. So we have this little quote here from Romeo and Juliet. It's the, is it the priest or is it the apothecary? I can't remember what it is. Anyway, he's talking to Romeo, who's upset for whatever reason. We know why Romeo's upset. And he says, adversity's sweet milk, philosophy. So when we have adversity, when we experience suffering, the sweet balm, the sweet milk that we can put onto that is philosophy, it's insight. So let's look at one of the